Hello, everyone. My name is Neil. If you haven't heard of me or seen me on here, follow me. Follow me. Um, anyway, I have liver cirrhosis. I know I don't necessarily look like it from the outside, but trust me, the insides are pretty messed up. Hey, a lot of people who have this disease may look normal for the most part. They may look healthy and they may even act healthy at times. It's what we don't see and what they go through on a daily basis that we don't really know about. So I'm going to shed a little bit of light into that. I did post my story, one of the first one or two videos. I can redo another story eventually if people would like, but those are on here. But anyway, I remember when I first was diagnosed, I didn't really know what that meant. In fact, they almost made it sound like, oh, just some diet changes and you'll be fine. And I've heard this story so many times, people saying that they've gone in, they said enzymes were off or something like that, and just kind of left them with a thought of confusion, like, okay, what do I do now? For me, I kept having complications. I kept on having fluid build up in my right lung to the point where they finally put a chest tube in. I spent from May of 2022 through September of 2022 in the hospital constantly. Procedure after procedure, many fluids being drawn. My fluid kept on getting bacteria in it and kept coming back as what they call gram positive. So it continued to make me worse, and I kind of looked about the same color as this hat at one point. So I was pretty far gone, and I was turned down for a liver at the time because I didn't have a support system where I was. But anyway, so what do we do now? Now we continue on. I was able to eventually, and everybody's situation is different. I was able to get disability, and that's mainly because of the amount of time that I spent in the hospital. I was in there so constantly. And at the time, I definitely wasn't able to work. I didn't have the energy for it. Things like that. But anyway, back to the confusion part. So I didn't really know exactly what was wrong with me. It wasn't until all the complications, and then it kind of really hit then. Then I figured it out. And I started doing some research, and a lot of times they don't want to explain the technical stuff to you, but I don't think they realize that when you hold back some of that information, it kind of gives us a false sense. And I don't think a lot of the doctors realize that, at least with the liver. I don't know about other diseases. But I do know, I can't, at this point in time in my life, if I have something flare up, like fluid buildup, bout of confusion, just the nasty feeling of sick, I may go in to be checked, but I can't just go to a walk-in. And my liver doctor is 3 hours from here, so it's not like I can just go see my liver doctor whenever. So I have to trust in the local emergency room. So, which I've gone in a few times, and it gets to the point where they start to know you by name, because I've noticed that these bouts come in little segments. They don't necessarily hit you all at once, or they don't just have one little flare up and then it's gone. Usually it's a bunch of little tiny flare ups that just irritate you, get you little by little. So I'll go to the ER, and I've been transferred to other hospitals because, the ER locally is like, we don't know what to do. And they send me out somewhere else, and then they don't know what to do. And Anyway, the liver is a mysterious organ. It's extremely needed, and it does so many things. So anyway, I'm getting off point here. The point of this whole video is the confusion behind it. Your liver controls your your poisons in your body to be filtered out. It holds most of your blood inside your body at any one given time. It sends one of your main veins, a portal vein, goes right through the middle of it. So when it goes bad, it squeezes that vein and makes it restricted. My newest thing that they've told me I now have is what is it? Pulmonary ventricular hypertension. Right. Anyway, what that means is the right side of your heart sends blood to your lungs or from your lungs. So when you breathe, it delivers the oxygen throughout your body. Well, apparently those veins are starting to get restricted too. So that's just another fun day at the office, I guess. Just throw something else on there. You know what though? But as you get going and as you do research and find out what's you're ailing, what's wrong with you, what you have wrong, and you start doing your own research on there, and you start looking at these things and you start finding out as much information as you possibly can. I find that a positive attitude is huge, and that's extremely hard to do sometimes, especially when bills are piling up or you're trying to figure out how to come up with rent or payment. Like I had financed a car and found out that they didn't put the taxes in with the financing, so I owed a $2,000 lump sum to register the car. I mean, it's life. But when you take that piece of life and you toss it on top of this other piece of life, your life sandwich starts to topple over. So it does become hard. And I would suggest when things become difficult, reach out and talk to someone. Find someone that's willing to listen. A lot of medical insurances have psychologists on hand that you can do a phone interview with, talk to once a week or whatever it may be, twice a week, whatever they deem is good for you. So a lot of insurance covers that. So it might be something worth checking into. I've recently made some really good friends that, have sat with me one night and listened to me because I was having a bad day. Everything was piled up in my mind at once, and I tend to smile and, throw it all in my backpack and just smile and continue going. Well, eventually that backpack becomes too heavy to carry, and you got to start dispersing some of the weight. And I'm learning this. It's a difficult thing to let go, especially when you've let go so much before already. So, but it's life, and you continue on, you continue fighting, and you continue doing what you got to do, because there's got to be hope for some good outcome. Otherwise, why do we do this? Why do we continue fighting? For me, it's the hope that, there is a life past this. What that may be, I have no idea. Could be anything. But I'm going to keep fighting till the day I can't, as far as the confusion and where's the money coming from, what's really wrong with me, do I really need to follow all these things the doctors are telling me to do? The answers are, do as much research as you can. Talk to your doctors, ask them questions. Don't be ashamed of, if you did this to yourself or whatever that might be. You drank too much, you did some kind of recreational, drugs or what have you, or, took too much over the counter medicines, too much things that aren't good for you, whatever the reason may be, family history, whatever that may be. Continue asking questions. Don't be embarrassed about any of it. Don't be afraid. I mean, I still get that question. I'll walk in, it's been 2 years since I've had a drink. Almost 2 years since I've had a drink. And I only drank for 2 years. And I wound up with this. Come to find out, it runs in my family. Didn't know that. I do now. So ask questions. Don't be afraid to go in and be looked at. Don't be afraid to, if you feel something's not right, just go have it checked out. I mean, yeah, you may spend an hour or two in the ER, but at least you'll know if something's off or not. Money, money's hard. I had to go take a part-time job and go back to work. There's days that I just can't do it. Driving becomes difficult, tired and wore out and things like that. But I can't survive on disability alone. It's just not enough. And there's really, if you're disabled, there's no programs that help disabled people with their bills, not unless you're a senior or disabled veteran or what have you like that. And yeah, those people should get those programs too, for sure. But there is nothing, there's no, disabled discount or anything like that. So, we get a parking space. That's important. But, just keep your head up. Keep your head above water and just keep treading, because eventually something's got to break. It breaks or I break. I'm not going to break. I'm going to keep on fighting as long as it takes to fight. So, I don't know who this video needs to reach. Hopefully, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Follow, please. I'm getting close to 1,000. Once I get to 1,000, there's so much more I can do with this platform at that point in time. And I do want to help people with these situations and stuff. There is a GoFundMe linked into my bio. Not necessary to have to do anything, but if you feel like you want to help me in my journey, then you're welcome to there. If not, that's totally fine. I'm just glad you're here to listen, to hear something. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever time it is when you see this video. And don't forget to smile and stay positive, right?